can't put politics aside if you want a progressive agenda. If you want a progressive, I mean, the two parties today are farther apart ideologically than at any point in our history except for the 1790s and the decade before the Civil War. And by and large, the Republican Party will oppose anything progressive, and by and large, most not all, but most Democrats will support progressive measures. So the most important thing you can do to advance progressive measures is to convince the Senate Democrats to overcome the filibuster in the Senate and to stop surrendering to it. Now, with Senator Senate Spector's switch, maybe that goal will be advanced somewhat. But clearly, we have to be bold and forthright. We have to insist on, if you want a progressive agenda and to help the middle class, we have to insist on health care reform. We have to insist on a robust public option in health care reform, because otherwise it'll just all be beholden to whatever the insurance companies want to do forever. You have to have a good, we have to change our bankruptcy laws, undo what was done a few years ago, which was done with a third of the Democrats' concurrence, so hopefully people have learned. We have to sharply regulate the banks and Wall Street, which I think will happen to some extent. We have to rein in the credit card issuers. I mean, these are all things we have to do if we want to have an agenda for the middle class. We have to deal with the mortgages. And all of this, it's astonishing to me that with the big banks depending now on huge government bailout funds, they are still spending huge amounts of money to lobby against credit card reform, to lobby against any kind of, to lobby against the mortgage situation, the cram down legislation for mortgages, which is apparently being stopped in the Senate. I think what you have to do is put pressure on the administration, whose stance on a lot of this stuff is probably, their instincts are good, but their stance is still unclear on some of it, and especially on the Senate. House too, but the Senate more.